Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being part of this Simple 6 Meal Plan workshop. We are going to cover a lot of ground here because I love to pack a punch. My name is Laura St. John. I love to help you flip negative moments in your day. I call them down spirals into up spirals so your day can get better and better. Strong Confident Living, which is a company that I've co-founded with my sister Kat, who's on this, and my husband Scott, who's a fitness trainer. We co-create content together to help you step into the up spiral as much as possible throughout your entire day. Because why live a life that's going down and down and down, right? Eating has such a big part of this. And I learned this through my own struggles over 10 years ago when I started a weight loss journey after having my third son. And suddenly everything that felt complicated. I couldn't shake the weight. I knew I wanted to rev my metabolism, shed fat. I created the Simple6 Meal Plan from a mindset approach, even after working with tons of nutritionists and recognizing where there were holes, not just in like what we're eating, but in our patterns around our eating. And that if I could help myself, and now it works, and now I've helped thousands of other people all over the world, help become more consciously aware of where you need to just clean things up, where you need to tighten things up, and could that have a dramatic impact on how you might want to shed fat, how you might be carrying excess belly fat as what I consider stress, and you're just ready to let that stuff go. And what I realized is tons of people that were finding me, you didn't need necessarily just another nutritional plan. You needed a mindset coach. And that's who I am. I'm, again, Laura St. John. I'm a mindset coach that really helps you become more aware. So again, those down spiraling moments that might be turning into overeating or stress eating or having that next glass of wine to unwind, and then realizing like, are these all the healthiest patterns that I want to keep doing every day? Or ding, ding, ding moments, which I'm known for. Ding, ding, ding. Awareness. Do I want to flip this? Do I want to change this? Do I want to change the course that's going to put me on a different trajectory so I can look and feel better with every decade? Okay, that's a personal goal and a goal I love to teach, right? Look and feel better. You can recreate yourself right now. And the Simple6 Meal Plan then was born. It was born out of a need for my own self, for weight loss. And then it was really born in turn like a shared framework where then I realized again, after working with tons of people, after owning gyms, after owning an education company, after like having all the steps that perfectly set me up to prepare the world to get more strong and confident, what I realized was if something like food is a power struggle all day long, what other is, where else are power struggles possibly like showing up in your life? And if I could help you with the patterns around your eating and not only shed fat, look and feel better and all that stuff, how would that trickle in to where it's showing up maybe, in other major areas of your life that feel like a struggle, that feel like a battle? And what if I could do it with, again, this very everyday thing that we're going to have to do for the rest of our lives, which is eat, right? We're going to have to do it. We're married to eating. We can't divorce eating, right? Like there's literally, we're married to it for the rest of our life. So if we're married to it, let's make it a really happy and healthy marriage between us and food. And, Scott and I, like we have our own, vows that we came up with Kat for strong, confident living and to really meet people where they're at. Right. And we have all of our, once you're in our community, we have like all of our own isms and sayings, but like there are guiding principles of our company. And some of them for me, are really deep. How do we help the world through creating a platform that's literally built on love and support? So ultimately, that's, what's tying us all together, that we all struggle. And sometimes we all have struggled with food and food choices and weight gain and weight loss and on again, off again, and consistency and all the things that we all struggle with. But when we come together in unity and align ourselves, it's just a really powerful alliance of strength and confidence that oozes into one another. And that's what I love to see, that it's you stepping into your possibility and potential of recreating your physical expression of yourself, shedding that fat, feeling better, being organized throughout your day, being more organized through your week. And then it's also then how you spread that out to the world, because how you fuel yourself all day is how you show up. If you're like stuck in anxiety, you're stuck in overwhelm, you're stuck in anything, stuck is just a feeling. And during this 1 hour workshop, you're going to release some areas. This is my job for you to release some areas that I'm going to expose that are just going to help you bring some of the things to light. So you have your own ding, 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 aha moments. And you're like, oh, I do that. Whoops. And we're going to fix those things. We're going to commit to just cleaning up the things that we want to start cleaning up. Is it going to be all done in an hour? No, but you're going to have a solid framework. So let me give you the agenda. I'm going to cover 6 key action items that we're going to do on this workshop. And then it's going to help you do a lot. So the first thing we're going to cover is really what your goal is. Why did you come to this workshop? Why did you click through and join us? You know, is it just curiosity? Do you really need a plan? Is it weight loss? Is you want to be healthier? You want more energy? You want to sleep better? Whatever it is. You know, maybe you're stuck in what to make for dinner. Like, I don't know. Think about what your goal is. Then we're going to talk, like, within that goal, I'm going to help you identify what's your problem then. Like, what's the problem? The problem is going to help you clarify the clear goal that you actually want. So I'm going to work with you on that. That's the first thing. Then I'm going to work on what I call the MVT, the most vulnerable time. When you fall apart in your day, I'm going to help you recognize, where do you fall apart? We're going to zero in on that, baby, and we're going to fix the MVT that's going on in your day. Because again, if you are having trouble at some point during your day, and everybody does at different points, right? We get busy, we do all these things. I'm just gonna mute the participants just in case. There we go. We have these oops moments, so we're gonna clean those up. The next thing then, I'm gonna talk with you, well, when did that battle begin, and kind of help you recognize and flip when this battle, you know, maybe it's, we'll talk about that. When did it begin? What triggers you? Right? Is it the coworker coming in with the brownies or donuts? Like, is it your mom-in-law baking your favorite mac and cheese? Like, I don't know. These are going to be what triggers you, what is your battle, and where does it show up then? Then we're going to get fun, because these are also our guiding principles. Keeping it simple, having fun, built on love and support, you know, up spiraling your life. These are our guiding principles. And if it's not fun, it's usually not part of my workshop. So I'm going to have fun. And the next 4th step is we're going to identify your fun list. We're going to have fun identifying fun. Okay, we're going to celebrate the fun together, so you can learn how to shed fat and rev your metabolism while you're still living your life, while you're still enjoying your summer, while you're still going to events and weddings and enjoying life guilt-free, which a lot of people struggle with. So I can't wait to help you not just change your labels, but around food, but identify what your fun is, and then weave it in guilt-free, and how to measure that fun. Some of you have questions around that. Then I'm going to go actually, like, step by step in step 5, how to lay out the day. Okay, what a typical one day can look like. So I'll give you the framework for that and some tools. And then the 6th step is then how to take that daily framework and turn it into a week. So I'm going to share with you exactly what I do, because that was a premise. I'm like, I'm just going to show you what I do. And that was the whole premise also behind that, saying, if I could just share with you what I do, like I started this over 10 years ago, would other people find this framework helpful? And the results have been astonishing, again, not just for weight loss, and considerable weight loss. I mean, people had gone to nutritionists on other diets and programs, you know, or just like, I didn't know I needed this framework to feel good about what I was doing all day, every day, to feel this organized. So we're going to go right into work, but those are my main 6 action steps that I'm going to take with you. What is the Simple 6 for those of you who are brand new? And let us know again in the chat if you are totally new here, where you're coming in from. And I'm going to, you know, I'm just so pumped that you're all here. So a ton of you are in right now as attendees. A bunch, you know, after we're done, we'll be watching on replay, but we can all participate in the chat. I also see that the Q&A is enabled, but I'd rather use that when I'm guiding that very specifically, if I choose to use that feature. So right now, all the things just put in the chat. All right, the Simple 6 framework is 3 meals and 3 snacks, and a way to have a simple framework throughout your day while still including the fun. That's like my definition of Simple 6. Designed by a mindset coach, which is me. So now let's talk about you. Okay, and then I'm going to lay it all out for you. Step one is recognizing what your goal is. So what is your goal? Oh, awesome. Welcome, welcome, Lisa. Following for several months. I'm new to the Simple6. Great. I'm so glad to see your comments. Let me know, what is your goal right now in terms of you joining this workshop? Is it to lose weight? Is it to feel like you have a plan during the day? Is it to feel healthier or more energy? What's your goal right now? Is it to feel more organized? Weight loss, lose weight and be healthy, eat more? Yes, girl. Not eating enough is a big ding ding that I notice. Almost everyone's not eating enough. Lose weight, feel better, myself in general, all three that I said. Okay, weight loss, more energy, healthier, awesome. Lose weight, control my chronic GERD. Okay. Lose weight and have more energy. Okay. Healthier weight. Get my together. We got it. We got you, girl. Lose weight, belly fat. Yes. Let me know if you carry your weight in your belly. That's really common to carry that, especially that stress. And for those of you who are brand new to me, when I see excess weight on any human, I always see it as excess stress that's old. So I want you to just take a look at your fat differently from this day forward. I want you to see your fat as old stress. And if you're ready to get rid of your old stress, okay, that's you're still carrying, because you're still carrying the stress, and you're ready to stop bringing the negative baggage of emotional baggage, like through every decision that you make around food, you're going to already start releasing like the right biochemistry to put yourself in a different mindset, to be very open to receiving. As I hold the bar on this Simple6 meal plan, it's not, again, just the structure. It's me holding the bar to you releasing all that old stress. I'm going to hold that until that day that you message me being like, Laura, I am in that body that I love. I loved every step of the process, because you also talked to me and taught me all about my body image and loving every step along the way. The Simple6 unveiled for me this place that allowed me to crush my goals, because, again, I stopped carrying the excess fat, not just the physical fat, but the stress fat. Okay, so what if you just saw your stress like that? Okay, and wherever like it decides to stick on your body is where it just like decides to collect, right? And it's almost like the way, like my office here, and I've got my like vision board in there, all my fun stuff. Like it's almost like when this needs some tidying up, like it makes you feel better. Like wait until I help you tidy up like the plan and the mindset, and what's going to then happen as your physical expression follows your mental and emotional state. So if you have mental and emotional habits like I hate my body, look at the imperfections, and then you open up the fridge because I'm stressed, and now I've connected stress with eating because eating makes me feel better, which is a normal tool because that's maybe all the tools we've had until today. Then I'm eating, then I feel more guilt, more shame, and the whole cycle continues. So that stress gets to hold on, it's winning. And if you don't want your old stress anymore to be in control of you, it's showing up as food in control of you. Okay, because this is really a you versus you battle. This is at the end of this, all you're going to really learn from my teachings and my mindset around the food plan, that this you versus you battle is unnecessary. And it's a battle that you've created against your old self. That's your old self is trying to like keep you in your old habits. Like, oh yeah. When you're feeling like really emotional or out of control or stress, that's when you've created an experience that's when you need the ice cream. And then your brain is like, all right, trigger like sugar craving, right? So we've created all these patterns and it's normal. I'm just here to help you face your own self in a loving way. And that's the space I'm going to hold for you, because in that space, these 6 steps are going to unfold for you. And you're going to be like, Laura, it can be that simple. And I'm like, yeah, you just needed to shift your mindset around your eating plan, around these patterns. So what's your goal? I think I got a lot of people, weight loss, healthy, healthier weight, more energy, eating more, rev metabolism, all that. Now I want you to identify in this same step then, what is the problem? What's the problem that you think you have? Okay. Like if I were like, all right, you came, and if I didn't first say, what's your goal? I'd be like, what's your problem? Don't eat all day. Then I eat at night. What's the problem? I'm stressed out all day. I'm too busy. What's the problem? So then just start like putting it in the chat. Fast food addiction. Right. So then your body is not pH balanced. And therefore, if you're not pH balanced, you're going to keep craving some of those same things. Junk food lover. I'm feeling sad or depressed. Emotional eating. Lonely. I love tacos. I mean, who doesn't love tacos? Right? Fast food, stress eating for sure. Emotional eater, sweets. I don't feel good enough. I eat a lot at night when I'm stressed or I'm bored. That right continues the whole cycle. Like I need to crunch on things. I'm feeling bored. I got to open the cabinet. I got to, do something. And then you feel guilty the next day, feeling sad. All right. I mean, this is huge. So with awareness, I can change. Like that should be always on your page. With awareness, I can change. And just for those of you who had the courage to write it, whether it's privately to yourself, and you're like, what's my problem? Like, what's my problem? If I know my problem and I could look at it in black and white on the page, I am aware of it. It no longer owns me. I am going to own it by facing it, by writing it down. And now I'm going to solve it. So little problems, little solutions, big problems, big solutions. But before you find the solution or allow the solution to perfectly appear in front of you, you first have to identify the problem. So you actually know, okay, this is not, because otherwise it's all like she fluff out there, just being like, what's my goal? Okay, weight loss. Awesome. Join the club of so many of us that want to lose weight. All right, that's the goal. And believe me, you guys know, if you've been following me, I love goals. I love crushing goals. I love helping you think bigger. I love epic goals. But what's the problem? And do you have the courage and clarity right now, which I believe you do, or you would not be here right now watching this, to face it? Just not 100%, like if you're not ready to be like taking it head on, maybe some of you are, but just to say, I'm ready to go in a new direction. I'm ready to say, this sad point, or this not liking myself point, or this me loving sweets point, or this emotional eating point has just been all these points till now. But today is a turning point. So today's the turning point. I love the quote, like I say it all the time. That's because everything is a turning point. You can pivot up to the up spiral, or you can pivot down to the down spiral. Because it's really hard to stay in no emotion. I try every now and then. It's just like zen. But life is throwing you struggle, and you're like, here's the brownies, here's the stress, like here's the work problem, here's the kid problem, here's the relationship problem. When life is throwing you stress, it's not that easy to just go sit on your bed and like zen out. So how do you show up when you're against the wall? That's like what Scott teaches in his workouts. How do you show up now? Do you want to go into the up spiral and change this? Yes, that's why I'm here. Or do you want to like continue into this down spiral? No, like no more. Okay. So if you've identified your problem privately, or even, to one another, congrats, pat yourself on the back. Literally. You got to do that more too, because then as you're patting yourself on the back, you're training your brain. I am ready for success. More of that, please. Pat yourself on the back. I pat myself on the back all the time. I like go like this. Yay! I go crazy at my desk. And people are like, I don't even care anymore what people think. I'm just like, yes, I'm going to train my success muscle, because my brain's going to be like, oh, whatever you're feeling and then whatever you're doing, it creates an experience. So if you want to write that down, this is what I train you on from a mindset perspective, that emotion plus action equals experience. Those experiences get stored. So if the emotion was sad, then sad triggered the action of going to my fridge and eating, That was your experience. Your experience gets stored. So the next time you're feeling sad or even more sad, your brain's like, well, remember this time the chips made you feel really good. So then you're like sad, even more sad, plus another action. I guess I need more chips this time equals another experience. And you've just had so many experiences, possibly, again, this is the patterns of eating, that that problem has been overplayed now. So if you're ready for a new practice, let me know in the chat, because again, this is all about building your success muscle. The more you write down, I am ready for a new practice. The Simple6 Meal Plan showed up just for me. I am ready for a new practice. Like, and you say, yes, 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 in the chat, or I'm ready. Like that is you patting yourself on the back, and that's going to continue to build the success muscle. Okay, which is huge. That's how you become more strong and confident. All right. So now we need to identify, we know the challenge, we know the goal. Now that's step one. So that is with awareness, I can change. That is just like laying it all out in black and white. And that is now we're ready for more identification of how does this show up for you. So that was step one. What's the goal? What's the problem? We're going to flip it, right? This workshop is about flipping it to the positive. Number two is, what is my most vulnerable time of day? That is your MVT. Okay. What is the most difficult time of day that you're the most likely to fall apart? Right? Like for many people, it's evening, middle of the night. Like, is it dinner time? Mine used to be dinner time. All the hours. Okay. That's okay. Then you're like, oh, once I fix this, it'll fix everything. Okay. When I wake up, 2 p.m. now this time of night, evening. Okay. So identify it privately or in the chat, but the more you share it publicly, the more accountable you are. So you're actually amping up your goal even more because you don't know a lot of the people on this call, and here we are all together. So identify the most vulnerable time. Okay, that now I'm going to kind of go through. I need you to say, then what do you do? And these are things you're writing down. When at nighttime, what do you then do? This is when I'm feeling sad, and then this is what I typically do. Identify what you typically do. So we're going to fix things before I lay out the new, like the Simple6 Meal Plan, because I don't want to just give you the Simple6 Meal Plan without fixing some of the old, or you're going to still allow the old to carry through and ooze in. So what's your vulnerable time? Again, this is identifying the problem still. And what do you typically do? When I get home from school, as a teacher, when I reach for the sweets, I snack. Okay. So that's this next exercise on your page. You're saying, this is the time of day, and this is how I'm feeling. Okay. Because feeling plus action equals experience. This is what I'm feeling, which we just identified. What's the problem? A lot of you said, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling lonely. And then what about stressed, right? Or out of control, because all the craziness going on sometimes. Then I want you to say what your typical thing is again that you do. I reach for a sweet snack or something unhealthy. Of course, right? Our brains are like, oh my gosh, you haven't fed me in a while. Or, oh my gosh, every time I've ever felt this way, I've always eaten like chocolate. Eat the chocolate. So now I want you to recognize, if this is just a vulnerable time, do you believe that you're here and that there's a fix for it, right? There is a fix for it. So the first fix, before I actually give you like what to do as an action item, is to tell your brain, I am normal. I am human. Everyone makes mistakes. I've just practiced this mistake now the way people practice grumpy versus practicing happy. I've practiced, at dinner time, having a glass of wine, not eating since like 10 a.m. or whenever I last ate, and then eating the house down before we sit down for food. That used to be me. I used to literally come home, relax, cook for the fam. I have 3 sons, my husband, and I'd sit down to dinner and they'd be like, Mom, why aren't you eating? And I'm like, oh, I just literally went through all the chips. I ate everything while I was cooking. And then by the time I sat down to dinner, I wasn't even hungry because I was already starving. And then what do you go for when you're starving and hungry? You go for the unhealthy things, right? The salt, the sweet, all that. So identifying now your most vulnerable time and how this problem shows up, and identifying the oops moment. One of the quick fixes now as an action item that I want you to do is ask yourself, and we'll do this in the Simple Six, what am I doing 2 hours before? Did I eat 2 to max 3 hours before this event? Like, but before this MVT, before this most vulnerable time of day for myself. A very quick fix, besides retraining your brain, saying I'm normal, I'm human, everyone makes mistakes, like this is an oops moment, like oops, I did it again, oops, I did it again, right? Now you're gonna be like, quick fix, so quick fix. You're gonna see in the Simple6 meal plan very shortly how to fix it 2 to 3 hours before. So if you are a late night eater, emotional eater at like 10 o'clock at night, what are you doing at 7 to 8? And that can really save you, because it can. Because if you can eat something super healthy between 7 and 8, if you fall apart at 10, then your biochemistry is going to be different. Your overwhelm is going to be different, because you've already given yourself a different fuel. For me, for the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock hour, I had to revisit what I was doing in the afternoon. And I didn't realize, because, I'm a worker outer and all that, but I needed to eat more, which is actually what most people's problems are. Most people, after I've coached tons and tons of people, are not eating enough. And that 3 to 3:30, like hefty snack, or almost like you would consider a light meal that I started weaving into my day, completely not only like helped me lose weight, but it's like saved my family dinner time. So this is a quick save to identify not only the most vulnerable time, but now I'm gonna like start giving you these action items as we go through these steps to give yourself the fix to eat something very healthy and balanced 2 to 3 hours before. Okay, so that's a quick fix. So identify the oops moments. Just recognize that that's a ding, ding, ding for you, possibly, that like, let me know as you're learning this, that you're like, oh, this actually could be that simple. If I'm falling apart at 2, then between 11 and 12, are my lunches, not just satisfying, but are they making me exhausted? What am I eating for lunch so I can maintain better energy in the afternoon? Or maybe if it's a 2 o'clock, like fall down, like down spiral, maybe that's the time you need your next snack, that's what I would say. So you need to really identify that time and identify the 2 to 3 hours before. So that's a quick fix that we'll be covering. Okay, we're going to move on to number 3, but you have to hold on to that vulnerable time for later as we design the Simple6 meal plan. Number 3, what are your triggers? Like, when did your battle with food begin? Okay, because if so this is where a lot of people, especially if you're here for weight loss, you'll know, my battle for food began when I had this really tough struggle in my life. And then I stopped taking care of myself. I stopped eating like on track. And that was probably the most compelling thing when I used to own gyms in Denver, Colorado. People were coming in for a physical transformation, thinking it was just fitness, right? That's obviously like always a piece of getting healthy and fit. But I would sit with everybody, look at them in the eyes, and I would be like, when did things get off track? Oh, I got this divorce. My mom got sick. I have to caregive. I have to do this. I have to do that. And I was just like, this is so much deeper. This is so much deeper. And we can help you with this, right? And we're not here to poke at the problem. We're here to help you identify that you've been on this path and this journey, possibly like many of you are saying, as a kid, as a teen, this has been a long time. It became as a kid. Like, these are stuck, and these are intertwined with your body image. These are intertwined with a voice that you may have received. Yes, those younger years that affect your body image so much. And those voices have become your voices, but a thought is really an unconscious, really, like, feelings and thoughts go together. Okay, so once you continue to feel them over and over again, even feelings are the way that like thoughts show up in your body. They're unconscious thoughts that are like showing up in your body. So you have maybe just been told a long, long time ago something that was negative with food. And I dish this in some of my broadcasts lately. Is food the enemy or reward? Think about it. It may have been divorces or other things that may have triggered a down spiral for you, not taking care of yourself. But like at the same time, you may have, we had this discussion in Strong Confident Living, our community, in the last 2 weeks as I started to talk about this broadcast coming. And, some people were like, I had to clear my plate as a child or else. And I was like, or else what? Food got the power like that. Suddenly it's like, okay, you have to clear the plate or else what? And I'm like, okay, then who has the power? Food did. And then, or else what? Or else it could be or else you don't get dessert, right? Like that's a common one. Okay, well now dessert's the reward. So food's still the reward and this food's the enemy. And now it's who still holds the power, whether it's good or bad. It was food. And, it's not to blame our parents, not to blame anyone, like in terms of what may have, it still brought you to where you are. But many of us have now had these experiences where we've connected again so much of our emotional power with our eating habits. And now when we are triggered with a big stressful event, it brings it on like 100-fold. Okay. Yes, guilt. There's kids all over the world that are starving. I'm like, I know, if I could just give them my extra lima beans, like, can we just transport them to somewhere else on the other side of the world, Mom? Right? Like, right? So there's going to be other ways that we can help everyone in this world. And speaking of that, I do believe that this information and content, this is why I love to do free workshops, is information that should be universally accessible to everybody. I believe that everyone here on this call that can be sharing Strong Confident Living with others is because the workshops that we deliver and the feedback that we get from people all over the world was that one Simple6 meal plan, Laura, from 5-6 years ago, has completely altered my life. I didn't realize that I was letting food control me at night. I didn't realize then, that I had this boss that was controlling me and that the scale was controlling me and my body image in the mirror was controlling. All these things were controlling me. And now I'm in control of me. So just know that I believe that there's a lot of people that, and thank you for passing on stuff like this, even as you get the recording in the email, share that recording with other people. Because you might be the voice of inspiration that helps someone take more control of their health and happiness and their everyday life. In the everyday, this is where the moments are made to shift your life. It's in the everyday. So when did your battle with food begin? And, again, this is not to feel guilty. It is to expose it to yourself. So you say, this is not a guilty point. This is not a blaming point. This is the turning point again. And I choose with awareness to recognize, wow, my battle began when I was a kid. Oh my God. Yeah, my body was changing. My gym teacher told me this. And then my mom was like that. And she always stepped in front of the scale and she hated on herself with her food, or she told me that I was fat, or she did this, or he did that. And we've all had different experiences. Okay. And it is hard. Yes. My mom said she didn't want me to turn out fat like her. Right. So she's holding the guilt and passing the guilt of the torch of guilt, but yet with such positive, loving intentions, because she's your mom and she wanted the best for you. So it's not, sometimes the intentions are off, but it's the words that suddenly are becoming our fears and our own words. So recognizing what triggers you and then saying, I'm not here, again, Laura St. John Mindset Coach, to poke at it and like figure out why it happened to you, even if it was traumatic and terrible. I'm not here to dismiss the struggles that you have been through in your lifetime that only you have stepped through. I am here to tell you and shine the light on your future. I am here to say, congratulations, you did it. Like you moved away from all those struggles and that stress that you were carrying as excess fat on your body. You started reframing that excess fat was not who you wanted to be anymore, that you were ready to let that go off your body. Maybe it was protecting you. Maybe it was just old stuff you were still carrying through into every decision you were making with guilt and shame throughout your whole day. Maybe you were just guilty and shame because you've gained it, lost it, gained it, lost it, felt like a failure, felt all confused. And it's that stress again over all these thoughts that is ready to be let go. And so I'm not here again. I'm here to say, trust in yourself, trust in the process. Stuck is just a feeling. You are exactly where you're meant to be, having all those experiences that you've experienced, even if they were terrible. Like, I'm not here again to justify or defend them or whatever. I'm just here to say it happened, but you're here now with all of us. And so now what? Now what? So now, in order to create your future without carrying all that negative baggage, so you can shrink wrap your body, you need to make a firm decision. And my sister and I, Kat, who's on, we've been talking a lot about boundaries. And I'm like, the boundaries of the past having that tight grip on you is what you need to let go. So you stop micromanaging every bite with the same weight that you've carried. And this is going to be huge. I mean, this is like typically what leads into my whole 6-week like emotional eating or, Simple6 meal plan course that I'm dumping into a 1-hour workshop. But know that it does take work to do these things. But when you're inside and you're doing this work, the transformation can happen fast. It's why you see like Christine K, and she's like lost over 100 pounds now, but you see the people who are doing the work. She prints out the Simple6 meal plan. Like, I'll share my screen and I'll show it to you and all that. We're going to get to that step. She literally like writes down every single night what she's letting go of, the oops moments, like everything that I'm talking about is in the meal plan. Everything. So I'm giving you the depth of it right now, but know that when you release these old triggers, when you release the emotions that are tied to your actions, you're going to start creating a new experience. And then suddenly when you're hit up with stress, lonely, overwhelm, these things that are causing you to down spiral because you've just associated it with an action, that behavior came second to the emotional habit that you've just carved as your normal practice. But once your normal practice is like, oh, when I'm overwhelmed, I go right to Strong Confident Living community online. I dump into Laura's mindset classes. I go for a walk. I do this. Once you have like your little tools of the tool belt that creates a new experience, you'll do different things. But you have to be firm in your boundaries, saying, I clearly don't want that problem anymore. That's why I had you outline it in step 1. Here's my crystal clear goal. I want to lose weight, feel healthy, eat all these things. That's right. Still step 1. So what was my vulnerable time that I'm ready to fix? Okay, that's an action item. And I'm going to do that with Simple6. And then when did this all begin? This is what I'm talking about. And now in step 3, it's like, okay, this is all their past is that it got you here. That's all the past is. It got you here. Now it's clarity and trust and faith that you can create change, and that I'm going to help unlock it. But my job is I'm going to give you tools and printouts and things like that, but you can literally do it with paper, because every tool that you need to have the health and happiness is inside you right now. It is. So that's a belief, and you just have to it's almost like an unblocking to get to it. And that's what we do. So identify those triggers, know where they are, and you could share some of them. Wow, I didn't realize what I'd been hiding from myself. It's like I've still been punishing myself from the pain and from the separation and the divorce. Yes. Okay. And thank you for sharing. You're over there in Australia, right? I love when people are all on these from all over the world. I'm like, okay, it's this night. And if it's not night, you're on the recording, or maybe you're on the other side of the world. So I love that you guys are on from all over the world. I want you to identify now. Okay, I'm going to switch gears. So before I now switch gears into the fun, I want you to just close your eyes for a second and know that you are here literally for a reason, and to self-express the best version of you in this planet, in this world. It is the healthiest and happiest version of you. And it is the version of you who believes and trusts that even if you can't feel it right now, that there's this chick named Laura St. John who's telling you that all the tools that you need are inside you. And it is just an unlocking. And from there on in, it's a commitment to move forward, saying, I'm ready to release the past and not carry the weight of it forward. I'm ready to release trying to fix all the food problems and diet problems and stress problems I've had in order to create my next version of myself. The one that sheds the old stress, which is AKA fat, that's stuck on my body right now, and the one that figures out solutions to the problems. Okay, now open your eyes because we're going to flip into solution land, because the first part of this is problem land where we're like feeling, right? Like I'm feeling a little, like I've been identifying all this ick now. Now I need to flip it with you to the positive. Okay, if we're going to flip it to the positive, we have to be ready. Now I'm ready to create that next step, my next the future version of me, and then close the gap between where I am right now today watching this and what that ideal body and weight loss version of me looks like and feels like. Because like I said earlier, that version of you exists inside you right now, just like health and happiness. And when it sheds out, it's just that transformation can happen really, really fast. It doesn't have to take 21 days. It doesn't even have to take 6 weeks. It can happen immediately. And for those of you already starting to feel better, like weights are starting to feel lifted, or like Teresa just said, I'm crying, or wow, I didn't realize this. I've been hiding from myself. And you're like, no, I'm ready to face myself. What's going to happen that's absolutely beautiful from this day forward is, instead of you feeling like you're battling yourself all day, which is exhausting, you versus the old you that keeps coming back with a vengeance and guilt and shame and all the negatives, it's going to be you going with you. Like you're your BFF. It's going to be you going with you to your future you that you can access right now because it's already inside you. So it's going to be you closing the gap to you and your future you. And it's a with you versus against you. It's a flow versus a struggle. So let's get into that. We start getting into that by, again, getting into action. So flip to a new page, or let's start cleaning this up. I want to show you a tool. If you're inside our programs, you'll see that it is the fun list. Okay, I help you identify your fun. Identify my fun. What is my fun? Because if I can recognize guilt-free fun, I can start to release some of the icky past and the guilt and shame around my eating. So we're going to really quantify fun. What is on your food fun list? Write it down on your paper. Definitely share it with the group that's on, put it in the chat, and identify it. Okay, so that's part of our inside our programs. Cheeseburgers, bacon, pizza, chocolate cake, ice cream. For me, it's eggplant parm. I love Italian food, pasta, breads, cheese. What's your fun? Okay, and anyone's fun can be all different. So there's zero judgment here at Strong Confident Living. Zero. Lose the judgment. Stop measuring, stop quantifying, lose the judgment. What's on your guilt-free fun plan? What other meal plan starts? Most meal plans are like, these are all the things you can't have, right? You can't have this, you're not allowed to have that, you can't have this. And when you join in on the Simple6 Meal Plan with Laura St. John, I'm like, it all starts with fun. Okay, you can eat anything, right? But not you can eat anything and everything, but you have to identify what's fun. Fancy drinks, bagels. Oh, I love bagels. I'm from New Jersey originally. Veggie pizza, ice cream, Starbucks cold drinks, so fancy and sweet, right? Bread, cheese. Diane, love that. Me too. Let's celebrate the fun. And when you start your food planning guilt-free, where the first step you do to Simple6 Meal Plan is identify guilt-free fun that you are going to choose to have, and just know what's on your fun list, and then what to keep then not in your house during like a 21-day reset or 6-week challenge, because you don't want to keep it hard. You want to keep it simple, but it's not to create the power struggle. It's to, again, I want you to put it on black and white on your page and put it in the chat, because when you have written it down, right? Like I love goldfish crackers. They're cheesy. I know there's better versions. I should have Annie's like more organic stuff or whatever, but I love goldfish. Nothing has come close to the cheddar like crunchiness of goldfish for me. And they were on my fun list, but I intentionally don't bring them in during a 21-day reset or a 6-week challenge into my house, because I know I'll want to eat them all. Now I don't. Like now I can actually have them in my cabinet. I've gotten to a point where it's no longer a battle. So, we train you guys on this, but where are you setting yourself up for battles? Identify your fun. And then tell your fun, like, you don't own me. I own you. because I own me, and food has no emotion. So why am I giving it emotion when I'm eating it? Why am I giving it my emotional power? Now you could look at your fun list in black and white, just like you looked at your problem with conscious awareness. And you can say, I'm not going to be in a willpower battle with you anymore, because willpower is not a test of my true strength. That's a test, not a trusting. When you trust yourself, you trust inner strength, that you can create a meal plan that is going to put you on a path that's going to help you crush your goals, you with you, and weave in the fun, still weave in the guilt-free fun. So it's a lot of mindset built in. I want you to continue to write out your fun list, like even on your page, like just go to town. Like, I love this, I love that, I love eating this. And it's fun because even when I make happy lists with people, like what makes you happy, a lot of food even up for kids goes on their fun list, goes on their happy list. So it's not like food doesn't make us happy. It's not like food doesn't make us feel better. It does. Like science shows our brain feels better. Sometimes sugars like trigger certain things, all the different things, but it's how we're using it. And if you can use it properly versus it feeling like it's using you, everything changes. This game changes with fun. So write it down and then circle the ones that when you want to tighten things up between now and like a vacation, now and like a summer break, now and like a wedding you have coming up, that at any time, the circled fun should be the ones that feel easy to keep to just a little bit. Like, oh yeah, I can just have a little bit of a cookie or two and I don't need to eat the whole thing. It doesn't feel like a big battle. So circle the ones on your fun list that you can keep and not feel like you're going to go overboard. Cross out the ones that will feel very battly to you. And if every single thing on your fun list is a battle, we're going to work on that too. Okay. So it shouldn't be, again, when you then fix that problem, you'll fix all the problems. So it's like one for the people who are like, I'm a gung-ho person, like it's either all or nothing. I'm going to teach you how to weave in the fun. That was a good question that came in. Okay, so what's your fun? Make the list. Now write 85% healthy, 15% fun. Our goal in the Simple6 Meal Plan week that I'm going to share with you, and we're going to start like now putting all this into a plan in our last 10 minutes or so of this hour, is going to be, how do I like start putting these things into something that I'm in control of? So the Simple6 Meal Plan it weaves in 85% healthy, which is 6 out of 7 choices healthy, and 15% fun. Again, I'm teaching you what I've found to be helpful. You might be fine doing 75% healthy, 25% fun. I found that 1 out of 7 for me was just the little bit that I needed of weaving in the fun that made me feel guilt-free and yet still like boss over my food. And I found that works, that quantifies very well for the gung-ho people in the house that are like all or nothing people. Do that 1 out of 7 days do that 1 out of 7 choices as a solid day. So be healthy, 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 healthy in your weekly plan, in your weekly Simple6 Meal Plan. Be healthy, 6 days a week, and have 1 full day of fun where you look at your fun list and literally create a day that's based on fun. You may feel like ick the next day. You may be like, oh, I ate all the things on my fun list. Next day I have a terrible stomach ache. And again, your body will eventually learn what you want to eat. But just know that, yes, sometimes I have, the bunny's probably going. Yes, sometimes it is unexpected. And, again, if I could put everything in, from our 6-week courses and different things into this one workshop, I would, but it's to also expect the unexpected. So you can add in your weekly list, okay, I like to sprinkle in the fun. So for those of you who are motivated by fun, weave in the fun every friggin' day. Like I have fun every day. So I'll share with you, an example of my Simple6 Meal Plan. So the Simple6 Meal Plan is, which I'm going to start to get into step 5, and then I'm going to teach you how to weave in the fun. So the Simple6 Meal Plan, especially if you're brand new, is to literally, it's so simple. 3 meals, 3 snacks. Start your meal, start your day with breakfast. And for those of you who, start eating later in the day, intermittent, this works with everyone. I don't care whether you have 12-hour shifts, whether you are an intermittent faster, whether you're vegan, whether you're a meat eater, like this framework works because it's a framework. It literally works for everybody. So today's intention, we're going to always start with that. Okay. And I'll give you an example of a filled out one too. Like here's one. Oops, I'll give you one filled out. Okay. So here's for me as an example during one of our challenges. Okay. Today's intention, be boss over food, organized, like I'm food boss. Today I'll flip, right? And you can take your problem into your goal. Today I'm going to flip being, exhausted or, like lonely and emotional eating into, being empowered and eating, 2 to 3 hours before I would have had my most vulnerable time. Like you can flip anything, but every day you should work on a flip that you want to flip and keep it simple. Keep it simple. But you'll notice here, the reason I brought this up is because the Simple6 meal plan is 3 meals, 3 snacks, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and 3 snacks. So you remember to snack on happy. You remember life's fun and food comes along for the ride. Food comes along for the ride of my life. Food is no longer in control of me. And even now, as I'm recognizing my vulnerable times and my like so-called problems, I'm fixing them by being like, because solutions are everywhere and they show up like this simple when I need to get back on a better track. So when I tell you that a snack can be 6 almonds and that doesn't feel like a lot, that I want you to hear a little Laura St. John on your shoulder saying, eat, like with all capital letters. Keep your metabolism going all day. A huge hole that most people have is that they're not eating enough. I've said it a couple times in this workshop. I notice when I get busy, let me know if you can relate. The first thing to go is the food. Okay. If I'm just super busy. And when I used to be bored, I used to go into my cabinet and want something salty and crunchy. When I would get, feeling a certain way, then I would want the chocolate or the sweets. So what you are going to start to recognize by using the Simple6 and printing it out, not as your daily, but as a weekly. So you're going to print out 7 of these for anyone in our workshop. You can, I'm going to show you how to like log in and be able to get these forms and stuff like that. But for anyone in our membership already, like these are forms that can lead you to them. You can post questions and these are all little printouts, PDFs. Print out 7 of these. So now step 5 is how to lay out your Simple6 and how to organize your week. Steps 5 and 6 of this workshop. So we're going to come to like the whole conclusion. When you have an intention of your morning, you will release the problems that we just started talking about on the top 1, 2, and 3 of tonight's workshop. When you have a plan, you learn to trust in yourself and trust in the process. Even when you're in self-doubt and you can't trust in yourself, you trust in the process of the Simple6 framework. And you say, I just needed a framework to nurture myself all day. And I needed to flip it. I needed to flip from negative to positive. Okay. And now I need to recognize, and when I do private group coaching on Saturday, I'll get more into nuts and bolts of like, someone had a good question, I think it was Jen, about should I be having a protein smoothie before or after my workout and different things. I'll share with you based on, again, my mindset perspective, like, what I've shared and seen with others as I've coached tons of people, when to eat what. Ultimately, you got to trust that you need to kind of sometimes check out different variables for yourself. And, know that for some people eating before a workout, for example, can make them sick. And for other people, it might give them tons of energy. But I'm going to give you a lot of best practices on Saturday's private group mindset coaching, which is going to take this meal plan and take it to the next level, like with very detailed questions like that. But just in general, 3 meals, 3 snacks. So the breakfast, break the fast of the night. If your metabolism falls asleep at night, which is really what it does, it usually goes to sleep with you and it slows down. You want to break the fast of the morning. That's why it's called breakfast, with revving up your metabolism. I don't know, like some people will wake up hungry. I usually don't even get naturally hungry till later. But the point is, eat and start revving your metabolism. Versus being like, oh my God, are these calories? Oh my gosh, am I eating too many calories? I'm not hungry right now. No, every time you eat, I want you to think, I'm revving my metabolism. I don't even need a ton of food. It might just be 6 almonds. It might be some rice crackers with a little bit of hummus. And eating before you get starving, when you're in our programs, you'll see the Simple 6 meal plan is so you never go into starvation mode. Because if you have that little bit while you're just gently hungry, not ugh full, you'll never be ugh full again. So this is a huge thing because people start to recognize with the Simple 6 meal plan, there's a difference between hungry and full and satisfied. My goal is to keep your biochemistry like solid and productive all day. So you are always going into action fueled, never starving, never like sickly full, but just in the land of centered, balanced, calm, fueled, strong, and confident, and still enjoying the fun. So the Simple 6 meal plan, again, I'll just pull it back up, is literally something like smoothie, a little bit of almonds. This is just an example literally from our last challenge of black bean pasta, or sometimes make red lentil pasta. Sometimes I just make plain old pasta. I make a sauce, side of greens. So whatever for lunch, that's healthy. So where do you fall apart in your day? Now you start to see the holes. So as you go through the Simple 6 meal plan and you track it reactively, and if you don't have the piece of paper, one of the best things to do, you probably always have your phone on you, almost always, unless depending on your work situation, you don't have your phone, whatever. But if you have your phone every time you're eating, snap a picture of it. Get in the habit of just being more, again, aware of the things you're putting in your mouth. Are you just, eating your kids' leftover chicken nuggets because you don't want to throw them out? Well, maybe that's an old thing that we talked about earlier. You felt like things had to clean the plate. Like, where does that show up in little things throughout your day? This Simple 6 meal plan is not just simple. It's to help you identify where these holes are that are these most vulnerable times. You think that it's just emotional eating at night. But what this will uncover for you is, oh my goodness, when I am so busy all day on this work project, I don't eat until 4 o'clock. Whoa, my metabolism that was just sleeping all night, I've just trained it to be dormant now during the day. And those calories will then even, I think, in my perspective, count even more, because your metabolism needs to be trained like the muscles in a gym. Okay, so the Simple 6 meal plan is to literally train your metabolism the way Scott would train your bicep to get lean and mean. And think about that. Think about that as you're reframing all the old baggage that's trying to come back with a vengeance. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, just like warning, love me and hate me, it's going to come back with a vengeance now, because you've participated in this workshop, the old stuff comes back because it doesn't want you to change. That old voice, when it knows you're about to transform, is going to try to bring you into self-sabotage and tell you it doesn't work. It's not you. Oh my gosh, but you gained a pound today. This can't be it. Da, da, da. And the new you voice has to tell that old you voice to go bench it, go sit in the corner. And the new you that's trying the Simple 6 meal plan, for months, right, is going to commit to a plan that takes care of yourself 6 times a day. Even if you're writing, oops, I missed a meal. Oops, I skipped that snack. Oops, I got busy. I forgot about myself. That's still conscious awareness of your eating plan and a desire to flip it from negative to positive and pivot. Oops, this is a turning point. But I'm telling you right now, because I've brought a lot into your focus in this workshop, that with some of the problems, maybe some of the past, when did this start, it's going to feel at times even louder in the next couple of weeks. But I want you to ding, ding, ding. You're like, oh, it's a turning point. It's getting louder. Oh my God, it's getting louder. That voice that wanted to oh, shoot. Oops, I emotionally ate tonight. I woke up, I'm feeling the guilt and shame. It's getting louder, Laura. And I'm like, okay, turning point. It's a turning point. It's not the quitting point. Okay, and that's where most people would quit on themselves and not keep going into all of our stuff. So just keep recognizing this, because again, it's going to try to hold you back. It's your brain's job. It's literally how I said action plus feelings equals experience. It's your brain's job anytime you're feeling lonely to remind you every single time you've ever felt that way. It's your brain's job when you're not trusting in yourself to remind you of all the times that you failed, so it can justify that feeling. and it will cough up all those memories. So that's why I'm saying I'm not here to poke at those memories. I'm here to make the new things just as crystal clear. So when you're feeling that moment of doubt and you're saying, I'm normal, the voice was supposed to get louder, this is like a turning point, this is exactly what she was talking about, I'm going to go bench that voice, it's no longer in control of me, I'm the food boss, this is a process, love and time, it's going to heal things, and I'm just going to keep working on me, and I'm okay to have these oops moments. They're going to get friggin' uncomfortable. They're going to even feel worse. They're going to feel worse because it's no longer you. It wouldn't feel bad to you if it was not the direction you were meant to be going. It feels good when you exercise willpower in a way, your power of will, free will, in a decision that actually is in the direction that you want to be going in. So I want you to know these things and like sit into these things when it happens again, because it will happen again. And then it's going to happen again, maybe a few days later. And then eventually it'll happen a few weeks later. And then it might be a few months later, but you're going to create a plan with me. And when you guys get into like, so let me just share like the weeks and all that, then you're just going to see it's, even if like I was coaching someone this week and I said, if you're only sticking to Simple6 meal plan 2 days a week, move it to 4. And then from 4, you're going to go to 5. And from 5, you'll go to 6. Leave some wiggle room. So if you like didn't do the Simple6 for 3 or 4 days, all right, you know what to do to create a weekly plan. And that's why in our stuff, I give you the weekly plans too. You lay out your, meals and snacks for the week, but you can just pick it back up. You dust off and you keep going, because that is life. You don't quit on yourself. It's our one rule at Strong Confident Living. Do not quit. Taking a break is okay, but you're stuck with us now, right? You're stuck with us this is it, because you're stuck with yourself. So do not quit on yourself, because you're going to wake up tomorrow, it's a gift, and you're going to breathe and you're like, I'm here again. Do I want to struggle? Do I want to exhaust myself? Do I want to battle myself all day? Or do I want to create the new way? Do I want to feel more strong and confident? Do I want to feel more organized? Do I want to lay it out? Am I going to sit here in guilt that I didn't do it for the last 2 weeks or 2 years or 2 decades? No, I'm going to create the new, because that's what Laura St. John says. She's just like, just put just as much detailed. If you're going to spend that much time working on the old stuff, which I'm like ready to like help you or like just put behind you, not erase, it's just there. It's just back there. But are you ready to create the new? So the new you can shed the fat. And what's so crazy, because I've worked with tons of people and they're like, why is she shedding 10 pounds like that? Why is she shed 20 pounds like that? I'm like, because she is so ready. Her thoughts are like, I'm drawing the line. I'm doing this. I'm not doing this 90%. I'm doing this 100%. That's why she's losing the weight so fast. Her thoughts and her emotions are supporting the Simple6 meal plan. And, the whole framework that I give you over a 6-week process of this literally unfolds it one after another, after another. Like I gave you some steps tonight. There's one step after the next step, after the next step, after the next step. For those of you who are members and you're inside our content, like make sure that you don't like dismiss the power of what's inside in terms of the mindset, the 6-week challenge that you have on emotional eating, on the signature mindset challenge. I've done this signature mindset challenge that we've created. Okay. I've done it 18 or 19 times myself over the last 6-7 years as we created this content. And every time I change, every time I transform, like what I gave you guys in terms of developing the plan and now laying that into your week and stuff, that's all in here, right? And then the content, the printables and all the things, but how to shift your attitude around this and, change your attitude around your old, how to drop the willpower battle and the fear of missing out and food, the enemy, the reward, all the things, how to tighten up and do the Simple6 at home or on the go. Your transformation, how to release all the problems and old stuff versus poking at them, which I touched upon. And then how to break through, how to not tumble back down the hill of self-sabotage and actually feel inspired every day and motivated because it's coming from internally from you. Just like the athlete that runs in the rain, like you could be the one that is so dialed in on your meal plan and committed to your weight loss journey that it can happen fast, and these breakthroughs will continue to happen. And then, of course, loving yourself along the way. The person inside you that has the courage right now to draw the line in the sand and say, I'm ready to commit to myself, and I'm ready to commit to this journey, and I'm ready to commit to me with me, not me against me. And closing the gap. So your cells that are eavesdropping on all of your thoughts, like actually like chill. Like they start to relax. They're not in flight or fight response. They're not holding on to the toxicity which is created by stress that's binding to your fat. Like there's science behind this, and it's incredible when you start to see, the science of how things, how fat binds to toxicity. And where's that toxicity like allowed to stay? It's when you're in this continuous stress. So I love all that. So back to the, going stress, like losing the stress little by little is key. Okay? Is actually key. In order to wrap this up, let me just share like one or two more things with you. So when you lay out your week, okay, of your Simple6 meal plan, I want you to organize your dinners, and know that if you organize your dinner, so I'm giving you a sample of mine. You can take a picture of the screen, whatever. This is just literally a sample from when I do our work. The Simple6 in a week is to first, I print out the Simple6 meal plan, sheets. And then I lay out Sunday to Thursday. Now, I know Jen was like, what do I do? Picky eaters, this and that. Like I'll cover that even more during our private group mindset coaching, but just to give you an overview, having a theme. So she had a great question. She said, I'll just kind of, she's like, I've got a bunch of people in the house there. I've got lots of picky eaters. And my whole philosophy is like, if it's not just you cooking for yourself and you've got someone who's sharing their opinion with you and they're being picky about it, then weave them into the planning. Right? Weave them in. So it's just like, oh, you're going to have an opinion on that? All right, sit down with me, as I lay out the month or as I lay out the week. You're going to join in on me and have them make their fun list. Have them do the things that I'm doing with you. Have them help you find the recipes. So when it comes to that night and it's Wednesday and it's crock pot night, I'll be like, remember, to one of my sons, like, you wanted this chicken and peppers, like, all right, come downstairs, let's go get together. So you can do this with roommates. You can do this with, people in your house, whatever it is. But have a theme. These are, again, my tips. These are some best practices. I love having a theme and I love having structure to my meals and throughout the week. It makes me feel really good entering my day, knowing that dinner's taken care of. If you are one of those people that like hate starting your day and being like, ugh, I don't know what I'm doing tonight, that wishy-washiness oozes into your work, it oozes into your stress, it oozes into things. So just know your brain needs a target. Give it a dinner target. Okay. Otherwise it feels like it needs to create a target from your past. So Italian night is like, I'm Italian. So I do Italian night on Sundays, and that changes every week. Monday, we do breakfast for dinner. We change that every week. Sometimes it's egg sandwiches. Sometimes it's, again, and talk about picky eaters. I have a bunch of us in our house. We have from vegan to meat eaters to vegetarian. We have everyone in between with all different things. So just know that, this, when I come up with a theme, it's with the intention that it can fit different patterns of needs in terms of even what people are eating. Tuesday, I love to do Mexican, Taco Tuesday, then even when we go out or whatever, but it's Taco Tuesday night, or sometimes we just made last night a chili. So again, that could be vegetarian chili. It could be lettuce tacos with vegetarian chili. It could be all kinds of things. And then Wednesday is, for me now, I've made it's like our soup and salad night. So you'll see like here it was crock pot night. Thursday, I love being burger night. Sometimes it's an everything goes night, but I love it. Like, again, you can change up your burgers. There's so many. You can do black bean, you can do veggie burgers, you can do meat burgers, you can do all kinds of different things. You can do lettuce, again, you can have so many different things. but that's usually our like more creative night. And then Friday and Saturday, this is what works for me. That's when we try to see friends, go out, or even just do leftovers if we're just, or get pizza like I'm staying in. So that helps me organize my week. Then I have my snacks that are go-to snacks. And if they're on a piece of paper and these things are on, like sometimes it's right now, if you were to come to my kitchen, these are written out on my refrigerator. I just have the week. I have Sunday through Thursday written out with what we're eating each night. But these snacks are go-to, and then they become your everyday habits. Put healthy at your fingertips. Okay. Put healthy at your fingertips. All right. Sorry, I know I went over. All right. The next thing that I wanted to share with you guys, because a bunch of you, if you're not in our membership, then I'm going to share with you how to become a member and, you know, see all the juicy lessons and stuff that's inside. For those of you who are already inside our membership, I'm following this up with a private group coaching. But I want you to just, you know, in order to close this out, I want you, in terms of members and people who are just interested in continuing to practice this work and do it and actually make this a practice. This is just the beginning. Okay, this Simple6 workshop literally is what I feel like, if I was like a pinprick, like a scratch on the surface of what you can do with yourself. You're always recreating yourself. Again, at 45, I feel better than I did at 35 or 25. Think about where you want to be 10 years from now and see yourself that this workshop or this Simple6 meal plan and all of the stuff that's inside our courses and programs that we offer you is literally just a roadmap, like a pathway that's going to continue to unlock the doubts, unlock the fears. It's going to turn up your confidence. It's going to turn up like the love in order to create the body that you do want. It's going to help you step into the body image. And all these things are just, you know, now you with you creating that compelling vision. I'm 45. So now I'm like, all right, what do I want to look and feel like at 55? Is that clear to you? Is it as clear as what you didn't want to look like maybe yesterday? So if it's not, that's okay. Everything is like, okay, well, you're still exactly where you're meant to be. If it's shady and cloudy and you're not sure, well, once you're inside, you're going to do the Epic Goals course. It's only 5 lessons. Start there. So when you join in, you know, what's cool about our content is it's a mix. It's a mix of what we felt if we could give you everything we got. That's our brand promise from our heart. That if we could give our people, the strong, confident people that join our community, open our hearts to you and your struggles, so you and hold the bar, that you can recreate your life. You can start with yourself and your body, your mindset, and your physical self. You can take care of your health. It's not all out there in like medicines and all these fixes. It's in here. And it starts with you taking care of yourself in a positive way. And it's a practice. That's why it takes a practice. So the fitness stuff that's in here, the mindset stuff that's in here, those are all self-paced and on demand. Okay. You can take them completely at your own level. Let me just cough 1 second. There we go. So when you log in, you're going to see all of the different lessons, even by body part, that you might want to, you know, like, Laura, I just need some good abs, you know, to go along with this meal plan. Oh, side note on, we also part of, if you're a member, you're going to see that we're coming out with live workouts. So there's live events and there's on-demand events. We have a live event coming up that's the workout that's going to be aligned to the Simple6 meal plan. How to, again, rev your metabolism and burn fat. It's going to go with the Simple6 meal plan perfectly. Because when you do active metabolic training, AMT, which is the design that our fitness stuff is based on, even at beginner level, it's all about activating your metabolism through fitness. So it's a perfect complement to the Simple6 meal plan and then the mindset stuff. So we're going to start unleashing now within our live workouts, literally the perfect, you know, we're doing 10-minute beginners, 10-minute advanced active metabolic training, conditioning workouts that are perfectly in line with Simple6. But you'll see all of the different workouts, you know, and they're in beautiful places around California. We'll bring you to the beach, you know, and our whole goal is no labels, no limits. It's one of the guiding principles of our company, ding, to unlabel yourself. Okay? No limits, no labels anymore. And we were just named the ideal fitness program for beginners, our program. By the so if you're new and you're like, you know, what do I do to start this? Just know you are surrounded by the most kick-ass, strong, confident people on this planet that we've attracted in the last 7+ years. And for those of you originals in the house that have found us and been with us for years, you know who you are. We know who you are. It's just, we're so grateful for all of you leading the way with us in terms of, you know, showing the world and your own kids and the people around you, your friends, how to get more strong and confident. Okay. And tonight at every workshop, I like to throw ideas and action. So in this workshop, if you are not already, well, for those members, you know, you could actually upgrade too. Let me give you a couple of things that you can do. Classes at strongconfidentliving.com. Let me just pull it up. If you're brand new, like typically our program is $30 a month. Okay, and there is a 10-day trial, but there's a $30 a month. Oops, let me log out. One sec. It's $30 a month, but I want to give you guys a special coupon. Hold on. There we go. I'm going to share my screen with you. Okay, so typically when you join our stuff, it's monthly, which is $29.99 a month, or there's 6 months, or there's 1 year. And at workshops, I love for people like who are ready to draw the line and commit to themselves. Okay, you can just join the monthly, but what we do on workshops sometimes is we give a massive discount for the next 24 to 48 hours. This one's 48 hours, where we give you a code and it's 4 months free. So it's actually $120 off the annual membership. Well, it's $120 off if you were to buy, and this would have been $360 in a year. It's already discounted $60. We discount it another $60. So it's $239 for the year. So for the price of 8 months, you get 4 months, you get the whole year, which is 4 months free. So that code, let me just pull it up and I'm going to put it in. Actually, you know what? I'll email it to you, but I know sometimes our emails don't go through to everybody. And since you're here on the recording, I'm just going to put it in the chat. So that is, if you are interested in getting the whole year of content, which every month, you know, we drop new things. We do the live events every single month, plus the on-demand classes for fitness and mindset. So it's a mix of live, and I love seeing you guys live. I love seeing you on the group private mindset coaching, which is going to happen just a couple of days after this event. So when you're inside our content, just go to the live coaching calendar and make sure you RSVP to this. If you liked this workshop, I get to go really deep with you in the private group mindset coaching, and we get to like pick things apart, and the Q&A gets to go to another level. And I just get to know you more personally. You get to know me more personally, and we can take these 6 steps that I just gave you and take it really deep. And it's this next one's just all about the private group mindset coaching is all about the Simple 6. Other private group mindset coachings are about manifesting your goals, or, you know, all kinds of different things that we do. Body image we've recently done. So just know that I always follow up a workshop with a private group mindset coaching for our members that takes it to another level. And thank you. Good. I'm so glad you're going to join. So yes, you guys, it's such a pleasure getting to see our members. Members, if you're in the monthly or 6-month program and you want to upgrade, we just reimburse up, you know, as long as it's over $10, we reimburse whatever you have left on, you know, your month or your 6 months, and you can upgrade to the annual and get the same awesome discount. So it's available to everybody, not just newbies. Everyone can have that discount. And if you're just know, we'll be on the lookout next for the recording coming your way, the discount code, which I just posted in the chat. And then of course the invite to any of the upcoming live private group coaching events and the workout that Scott's put together for the Simple6 Meal Plan workout. You guys, it's been so great to see you. Look forward to seeing you on the private group mindset coaching and and inside our content. Thank you for participating. Have a beautiful day or night, depending on where you are. Thank you. Can't wait to rock the Simple6 with you. Thank you. Bye. Actually, I'll share my screen. Turn it back so I can see you guys. Bye. Bye, everyone.